So here's a blast from the past. Just when you thought the Kreo line was pretty much 100% dead with no new product coming out, outside of budget releases and reissues of the same stuff that seems to show up, and Hasbro and Oxford, which is the Korean company that helped produce Kreo with them, slowly has been separating their relationship with that company. And we thought, well, Kreo's done. They tried to get into the Lego game for the second time, Hasbro. It didn't work out. And that was that. And lo and behold, it seems that there is going to be one new minifig product coming from the Kreo line. This comes courtesy of Universal Studios. So for people that don't know, Universal Studios had a whole bunch of exclusive merchandising in relation to Transformers The Ride over there. And their character Evac, being the mascot of that brand, was featured across a lot of the different price points, whether it be a deluxe figure that was exclusively sold there, clothing, merchandising, stickers, all kinds of stuff, and including a special Kreo 4-pack that had a Megatron, a movie Megatron, a movie Optimus, a movie Bumblebee Kreo, specifically colored and tempographed for that set. But the big deal was it came with an exclusive Evac figure. And this is how it was since 2014. It would have mild, tweaks here and there with the new body types, when Kreo would switch over to a different kind of tampograph style, where the legs would then get tampographed. But ultimately, in the end, that 4-pack always featured Evac. At some point, I guess either maybe the trademark for Evac has expired or something has happened, but they've decided to make a different switch. This exact same 4-pack, same other figures. The Megatron is still the same. The Bumblebee is still the same. The Optimus is still the same. They fixed up the packaging. They changed it. They took out Evac, and they put in a brand new Kreo figure that we've yet to get, known as the N.E.S.T Sentry. Now, when you look at the N.E.S.T Sentry, right away I'm like, wait a minute. Something's up here. I'm a big Kreo collector. I've tried to get everything under the sun that exists of these. And I was looking at that tempograph on the chest, and I'm like, that looks way too familiar. And lo and behold, it's a straight up 100% repaint of the Kreo Micro Changer Beachcomber. But what I find fascinating is, why would they pretty much even keep, because when you're talking chest tempographs, you're not dealing with a mold and there's nothing you could do about it. You could do whatever you want with that sticker tempograph. And I find it fascinating how whoever was the art designer for this just decided to take what Beachcomber's design was on his chest and just kind of change the colors up in Photoshop, and here we have it. To the point that it makes me really laugh at how he looks, and it's kind of, I don't want to say lazy, but I mean it's something that if you want to recreate this character as a official Transformer character, you just take any Beachcomber design, because that molded decal, well, that molded sculpt is on the chest of most Beachcomber toys. So it's very funny they did that. But of course, obviously people have been speculating, because since this is a N.E.S.T Century character, it's based in the movieverse, it could be possibly be a stand-in for some movie characters, and I'll get through some of those. So one example was, some people were saying Revenge of the Fallen Armorhide, which was a N.E.S.T character from 2009. Other people are saying Dune Runner. Dune Runner, I almost feel there's something to Dune Runner, who also was a N.E.S.T character, and I'll say why, because Dune Runner would later on be repainted into movie Beachcomber. So there almost is an indirect kind of connection there. And of course, the Dune Runner mold would get repainted also into a bunch of other stuff, like the GDO Sandstorm in 2012 for Generations. And and it's funny, here's how everything comes around. Even Crankstart, which was the very first movie character to get a Kreo figure, and that was one of the blind bags in 2012. So, and even though Crankstart's Kreo figure looks very different from this this N.E.S.T Century here, so it's very weird. I know, and when I look at him too, I almost get this, I don't know why, I get this Jeeper Creeper GoBots vibe from him too when I look at him, just a little bit, mostly because Jeeper Creeper had a similar chest decal. But I mean, at the end of the day, it's pretty much just a green repaint and, Tempo color change of the Beachcomber at the end of the day. Even has the same gun. Obviously, it just has some little extra on the back because they give him a little, I call it the cape backpack gimmick. But at the end of the day, it's an interesting repaint. Again, it's an original mold. Not an original mold, an original release. It's not just a straight up repackage of something. So if you're a Kreo collector like I am, I'm going to probably try to track this down. I'm going to end up with a whole bunch of extras now of the Optimuses and stuff. So get ready to see that at a future Proto Man parts party or something at TF cons in the future. But this is interesting. This is very interesting to see that there's still some kind of creative life in Kreo. It shows that Hasbro still has some kind of relationship with Oxford and Korea, which is the company that develops this stuff. So it shows that there's something going on there, and what that means for the future of evac from the other products, we don't know yet, but it definitely says something. So if you are interested in getting this, assuming this is exactly how the other ones were done, most stuff you could usually get from the Universal Studios online store, but they made sure that stuff like this Kreo 4-pack were only available at the park's merchandising sections. So you'll have to get someone who will go there in person and get it. But this is really cool. I dig that Kreo still has some kind of life. And maybe, just maybe, it might find its way to make some kind of a small resurgence in the future, because the market is still there. Lego is still hot, still making money, and maybe Hasbro could still get a little piece of that pie while they still can.